Assalamu alaikum. Peace to the gods, peace to the earths, peace to the goddesses, peace to the FOI, the MGT, Hotep to the conscious community, Shalom to my Black Hebrew Israelite brothers and sisters. The struggle continues. Let's get this peace on the streets, but peace cannot get on the streets until we get peace within. Messenger Elijah Muhammad teaches us that peace is a universal greeting which only the righteous abide by willingly. You know what I mean? Meaning that you have to want peace. You can't have the police keep the peace in the streets. You can't have peace because you're afraid that the ops got guns and you don't have enough guns, or they got an army or money and you don't have it. You know what I mean? You have to, within yourself, seek peace and want peace. You have to live by the golden rule. Do unto others as you want done unto you. That basic principle will solve 90% of the wars on the face of the planet Earth. Do unto others as you want done unto you. The golden rule taught by Buddha, Jesus, Krishna, Yahweh, Master Farah Muhammad, and restricted laws, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, you name it. You know what I mean? Today, family, I'm your brother in the struggle, Brother Alif, and we're going to manifest on this plane and this level of existence on the Holy Quran's teachings on Allah does not have female angels or daughters, and taking away the spooky stuff with it, if you will. You know me, I like to peel back the layers of mythology and technology and the ancient mistransliterations and misinterpretation of our ancient spiritual sciences, and you know, they get reclassified into all these organized religions and codified by these 10% so-called ministers and reverends and imams and scholars and adepts, you know what I mean, throughout the planet Earth. So basically, I'm going to give you the short version. You know what I mean? It overlaps in all religions, it intertwines, it rises up, then it falls, then it gets lost and forgotten, then they rediscover it. So it's a lot that goes with it, you know what I mean? But I'm gonna give you a 76 trillion year history in like, say, 15, 30 minutes, you know what I mean? Short version. When you read in the Quran, Prophet Muhammad, according to the Holy Quran, you know, he rejected the ancient pre-Islamic, meaning before Prophet Muhammad began teaching, the Arabs of Arabia collectively and as a majority, they believed in female goddesses, female angels, females being the daughters of God, and things of that nature. There's ancient teaching. Not just in Arabia, all over Africa, all over China, all over India, all on the islands, what have you. Know what I mean? However, you always have priesthoods that rise up. You always have the experts. You know what I mean? Something similar to like this day and time. You know what I mean? Like everybody today have different beliefs, their own interpretations, but you have what you would consider the leadership, the scholars, the scientists, the archaeologists, the experts, if you will. You know what I mean? Even in theology, we call them ministers, reverends, imams, gurus, sheikhs, whatever. You know what I mean? Those that usually do have more knowledge than the average person, but that does not mean that they have more understanding than the average person. The average person may not know the language. They may not be able to recite all the lessons. You know what I mean? Like say you got a brother, he can recite all the lessons. He soldiered with Master Farah Muhammad. He's a pioneer. He got pictures of him with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. You have so many FOIs and MGTs that was in the room with Master Farah Muhammad, sat down at the table, ate with Master Farah Muhammad. They sat at the messenger's dinner table. I mean, you know, they gave the Savior gifts. I mean, they was in a car with Master Farah Muhammad. And you know what they did when Master Farah Muhammad left? Their belief left. Those that was right there with the messenger You know what they did when the messenger left? Their faith left. So just because you on a physical plane is with Jesus doesn't mean that makes you an expert. That don't mean because you was sitting down with Marcus Garvey or Malcolm X or Noble Drew Ali, or you one of the firstborn with father-in-law or any of that. You can have a younger brother or sister, a younger God, a younger earth that be like, I never seen the Father, but I seen him through his works. I seen him through his word. I seen him through his mathematics. I seen him through his culture, and they're living the Father's will, aim, and purpose better than those that were physically there. That happens in all spiritual sciences. You know what I mean? So this is basically what we have with this ancient female angel contradiction and construct. You know what I mean? You know, so Arabia has all these imported spiritual sciences from Africa, from India, from China. It's all mixed all up like it is today. Now, I mean, people think they got something special, something unique, something new, but there's nothing new under the sun spiritually. Now, I mean, it's all the exact same thing, just rewrote, retort, new symbols, new signs. Now, I mean, you know, I have some few people like, why you got an ankh in your house? Why you had an Egyptian ankh up? You know what I mean? And it's like, why you don't? I mean, like, but those that don't understand signs and symbols. In my house, I got the Star and Crescent. I got the red, black, and green. I got the continent of Africa. I got Master Fard Muhammad. I got the Supreme Angel Seal. I got the Universal God's 5% seal. I mean, all of that is us. I claim all that. Now, I mean, you know, if it's truth, I'm with that. If it's black, I'm with that. That's how our people, you know, move. Now, I mean, you know, like the ankh just gets transformed into crosses, into fish, into all kind of other symbols. Now, I mean, but it's the key of life. It's when you look at the ankh, you may look at it and just see. Now, I mean, but that ancient symbol, that's a yin and a yang, the I Ching, the Ife, all these ancient systems. That's the male sperm into the female to give birth to the gods. That's the male and female deity standing up. The head, the arm, the leg, the arm, and head. That's a law of 360 degrees if you understand it. Now, I mean, if you stand and put your feet together and put your arms up, and somebody traced the outline of your body, it would form an ankh. But if somebody want to kill God, they can spook it up and say that you was crucified and that they put you on the cross. The Holy Quran say he wasn't killed on the cross. He was put on the cross, but he was made to appear to them as such because they didn't understand. So there's a lot of spookism that always come into the spiritual sciences and make it something that it wasn't, or wasn't originally intended to be. Now, I mean, so in the Holy Quran, it speaks of Alat, it speaks of Al-Uzza and Manat, are three female angels or female daughters of God or goddesses or what have you. And the people had no problem with that. Now, I mean, for generations. But then Prophet Muhammad wanted to establish a monotheistic type of spiritual science. He came in and destroyed all those symbols, all those books, all those writings, all those teachers. Now, I mean, and what we have today is a single concept of a creator, a monotheistic type of concept. And he wasn't unique and new in doing that. Abraham did it. Akhenaten did it. I mean, they did it in ancient Egypt. A lot of people did it all over the world. Now, I mean, before, during, and after Prophet Muhammad, thoughts and peace be upon him, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. However, the original teachings or the original meaning was always about one creator of creation, meaning the pantheon of ancient Egyptian gods. Prophet Muhammad had to get all of that ancient concept out of there. And in a way, it's comical that the Arabs, after Prophet Muhammad died, these same Arabs that believed in this one concept of one creator, they came over Egypt and stole everything that they could find, raped, robbed, and murdered everything that they could, chipped the white alabaster off of the Great Pyramid of Giza, and used our ancient stones and plasters to build their holy, righteous masjids in the holy city of Mecca, and to build their holy sepulchres to the concept of that one God, one creator. So here you have, like, I ain't just blaming the Arabs. Jews did it, Catholics did it, Christians did it, you name it. Religious people always talk their holier than thou stuff, but at the end of the day, they be sticking up armored trucks, robbing banks, selling drugs, duct taping jokers. Prophet Muhammad time, they rob caravans, whatever. That's the reality of that stuff. Now, I mean, the Romans, when they accept Christian, they be like, man, we came and we conquered. That's not, I mean, it's always power moves made. I mean, the Pope made sanction and blessed the swords that cut people's heads off. Now, I mean, with divine decrees and all this other stuff. But at the end of the day, when you read those scriptures, it's like, man, these gods are really gangsters. These gods kill people. They order the prophets to kill people. They codify texts on how to get money. Now, I mean, it's nothing spooky when they build that nation. But once they get all that money and all that power and all that prestige, that's when the spooky stuff comes. And that's when we're holy and peaceful and righteous. That's when they get to that phase of reality. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's like a lot of people be like, well, the Nation of Islam was built by Brother Selling Muhammad Speaks and Final Calls and Bean Pies, and come on. If the FOI and MGT that was there be like, for real? I mean, yeah, brothers sold some papers, yeah, brothers pushed pies, yeah, brothers had incense oils or whatever, but they understood what it took to build a nation. Know what I mean? You know, that is like every other nation. I mean, and that's just the human nature of the human species. And when you're dealing with haq, or you dealing with reality, you understand that. Know what I mean? So in the Holy Quran, you find that concept that they had to get rid of that teachings about the female angels and the female goddesses, or the daughters of Allah. Know what I mean? In this day and time, the various branches of the Nation of Islam has the exact same dilemma. It's like trying to explain ancient spiritual sciences. Now, I mean, it's like, okay, if the black man is God, what about the black woman? Now, I mean, you know, and you have all different types of opinions and concepts and theologies about it. But when you study, what did Master Fard Muhammad say? What did Master Fard Muhammad do? What did the Honorable Elijah Muhammad say? What did the Honorable Elijah Muhammad do? Did Master Fard Muhammad put women in positions of power and influence in the Nation of Islam? Of course he did. Did the Honorable Elijah Muhammad? Did the MGTs have juice in the Nation of Islam? Of course they did. Know what I mean? It's like you have the letter of the law and the spirit of the letter of the law. The minister is the chief head of the mosque and masjid or the temple with her. But it's like Elijah Muhammad locked up. All right, bro, minister, take your orders from Sister Claire Muhammad. But there ain't no manual on that. That's not what she wasn't given a post. This, that, the other, this, that. Her position wasn't this, that. She's the mother of the nation. She's the MGT, the most goddess trusted. She's the one that Elijah Muhammad like, I'm giving the ankh, I'm giving the keys. I gave the key. I asked you, man. He even asked the Honorable Minister Farrakhan on this man that have laid the key. Farrakhan was like, I honestly just couldn't understand the keys. Plain and simple. He could, and that's what it's like. It's not for you to do, bro. Know what I mean? Don't even worry about it. Do your part. Know what I mean? So when you understand spiritual systems, know what I mean, you get in when you fit in. Know what I mean? FOIs always had to depend on some sister or sisters. Know what I mean? Mothers, wives, girlfriends, baby mamas, daughters. Know what I mean? Whatever. Homegirls. Know what I mean? whatever. Now, I mean, you know, that they play that role just like everybody else. You got sisters in mosques and temples that's stronger than brothers. You got brothers in mosques and temples that's stronger than sisters. You got brothers that's in temples and mosques that's stronger than other brothers and sisters. You got sisters in temples and mosques that's stronger than other sisters. So that's just the nature of the human family, and we find that amongst lions, we find that amongst female sharks, we find that amongst female eagles and female hawks. That's just the universal order of things. Ants, whatever. I mean, queen bees is just part of nature. That don't take away from the killer bee. That don't take away from the worker bees. Now, I mean, but it's like, you know, when the hive is attacked or whatever, everybody know that role. Everybody play their part. Now, I mean, you'd be like, well, is the hive gonna fall apart if the queen die? Now, I mean, you'd be like, defined roles are never cut and dry. They're never extreme. That's not the way of a law. I mean, you'd be like, all right, you got a male lion, a female lion, and 3 cubs in the den. You got a male bear, a female bear, and 3 baby bears up inside that den. The white man come and shoot the male lion in the head and kill him. Then he shoot the male bear in the head and kill him. Do the family die, or do mama bear step up? What do you think gonna happen? You'd be like, now Papa Bear usually run outside and get it in. The male lion usually say, okay, I'm gonna protect the herd with it. I'm gonna protect my family. Now, I mean, they killed him. She like, oh, you killed him. Oh, you got to kill me too. She's going to go in the battle. She's going to do what he do because his nature's in her too. Testosterone is in every female on this planet. Estrogen is in every male on this planet. So the law of gender, as our ancestors defined it in the 7 spiritual sciences, is a universal concept. Father law, mother nature. Now, I mean, you know, I understand and respect some of the gods. That thing is like the female members of the nation of gods and earth can't be God. They could be earth. You know, they be like the moon can't be over the 7. And it makes perfect sense when you look at it in context and understand, when you listen to them and hear them explain it, and you be like, okay, you're saying the same thing that we say, we just don't teach it like, we don't say it like that. Our thing is what you're saying in the Nation Islam cosmology, in the Nation Islam theology, what you're really saying is what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught, and Master Muhammad and black men and ancient Arabs. Basically, you're saying that in the beginning, 76 trillion years ago, if you will, originally, somebody had to be first, male or female. We believe it was the male. We believe it atomically, genetically, psychologically, militarily, socially, politically, what have you. Now, I mean, you know, it's that XY chromosome and that double X chromosome, you know, it's like one had to be dominant and one's recessive. Why? Everything in nature has a dominant and recessive gene. Everything in nature just has that principle. So when it comes to males and females, it's the same. That does not mean that there are not women 1,000 times smarter than men. The messenger said in 1972 Theology of Time, he said, some of these women can rule some of us men. The message says some of these women, some of these sisters could rule and lead us brothers. Now, I mean, he said in the same Theology of Time, he said, brother, don't take her for nothing. She's something too. I mean, you know, he said, and I'm quoting him, he said, you are the sons and daughters. You are the sons and daughters of gods of your own kind. Not just the brothers. MGTs, remember this. The message, you are the sons and daughters. I'm not paraphrasing. I'm quoting him from 1972. You sisters are the daughters of gods. So, you know, it's nothing spooky when you understand it. When you're talking about freedom, justice, and equality, you can't have male chauvinism and second-class citizens and discrimination in the Nation of Islam. The message said, if you can't get freedom, justice, and equality under the flag of Islam, you can't get freedom, justice, and equality. Like, you're just in the wrong universe. Know what I mean? But the 10%, the rich, the slave makers of the poor, who teach the poor lies, they, with their ignorances, their own prejudices, their own insecurities, their own fears, their own inabilities want to, play macho and keep their foot on sisters' necks because they fear that these intelligent, strong women are going to question them on that bull crap. I mean, and men been doing that for a long time. I mean, the Bible says, thou should not suffer a witch that she shall live. The Bible teaches you, when you find a witch killer in the 1600s, in the early America, if they say you're a witch, they had all these pseudosciences for you. You're guilty until you prove yourself innocent. They want to torture you, dunk you in the river, they dunk you in the river, tie you to the plank. They be like, if she drowned, she wasn't a witch. She's going to go to Jesus and we made a mistake. But if she lives, that proves she's a witch. So we're going to burn her ass at the stake. Either way, she's dead. So if this dude raped her, or this dude got cheated on his wife and got her pregnant, and she like, I'ma tell. Now he like, I got to get rid of her. Know what I mean? So they would do all kind of crazy, wicked, diabolical plots, know what I mean, to control the women. Know what I mean? And I ain't talking to comedy. I'm talking even like in this day, like you go all the way up to President Kennedy and you know what I mean, and his affairs and his shenanigans and all that kind of stuff. Men on men. It's nothing spooky with males or female. You got some shiesty sisters out there. You got some shiesty women too. You got some female devils too. Know what I mean? So you know, God is not a respect of persons. We don't, that ain't how Master Muhammad deal with that. Know what I mean? His thing is like, y'all vie with each other and trying to live according to the teachings. Know what I mean? To strive to do good. Know what I mean? To keep that balance, if you will. Now, I mean, so the Holy Quran teaches us in chapter 22, verse 88, that everyone on earth or everyone in the universe will die. So people like, do the angels die? Yes. If angels was created, at some point they have a death date. Everything living must die. Now, I mean, it's nothing spooky about angels. I mean, angels going to die just like plants going to die and fish going to die and birds going. If it's living, it's going to die. Planets die, nations die, names die, everything dies. The Holy Quran teaches us the only thing that doesn't die is the face of Allah or the countenance of Allah. Now, in this modern day, we really don't use that word too much, countenance. Now, I mean, you're like, what do countenance mean? Your countenance basically means your mental composure or your mind, meaning that all of us physically die, but our mind doesn't die. When we say our mind, meaning that thought or that energy, it transforms. Now, I mean, that atomic energy it never was born. Therefore, it never dies. And I'm going to leave y'all with this verse from the Holy Quran, chapter 39, verse 68. There's going to be 2 trumpets blown. The first final call trumpet that's blown according to Surah 39, ayah 68. Everyone that is on earth is going to die during that first trump. But during that second trump, everyone is going to stand up or get back on post. It's not talking about people physically dying and coming back. It's talking about people mentally rising up or mentally becoming conscious again. People mentally returning to the life-giving teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Now, I mean, so when you study ancient Kemet, you see the goddess Set or Isis, she has her angel wings. But you also see the god, Mel, Heru, or Horus, the falcon god, he has his angel wings. So in ancient Kemet, the angels were male and female. And that concept spread all over the planet Earth. And when it got mixed up with pseudo religions, they didn't understand the angels, so they had to try to twist it and juxtapose their own superstitions and high priest teachings from the 10% priesthoods into simple, natural, scientific principles and cultures and rituals and signs and symbols and languages, and it just came out like, oh, it's some spooky stuff. Know what I mean? So when you read your Bible carefully, you notice that the angels are males, and the Quran comes from out of the Bible. So the Quran thing is, oh, the ancient teachings of the scenes, the ancient teachings of Isa, Jesus and them, the angels, Michael or Michael and all of them, they were men. They don't have female angels. You know what I mean? So they was like, here we is with these statues with female angels, not realizing that these pre-Islamic angels is not from Christianity. They go before. The angels is taught before Jesus. The flood teachings is taught before Noah. You know what I mean? Before the books of Moses or the Torah was even written, we had flood teachings, or we had before ancient, we had cities that are so old and so scientific. Historians still trying to figure out what happened to them, where they like the lost city of Atlantis and you name it. It's countless ones. You know what I mean? But their technologies, a lot of people believe that the people that built the Great Pyramids learned that stuff from the black people from Atlantis. You know what I mean? You know, you'd be like, what is the oldest giant stone Johns? Know what I mean? Is it the pyramids? It'd be like, scientifically, nah, bro. If you study, like, what did we first build before that? We built the cipher. They call it Stonehenge. Stonehenge is older than all of the pyramids of ancient Egypt, older than all of the pyramids of Central America and South America. It's older than the pyramids of China. You know what I mean? We was building a cipher. It's 2022. We still building in a cipher. We still building ciphers. We still building on a cipher. We still are the cipher. The struggle continues. One love. Salam Allah.